The first part of the program tonight, and I hope it doesn't take too long, but has to do with this huckster, Kim Davis, who was released from jail today. You'd think she was Martin Luther King Jr. or Gandhi. What? What a show. What a show. And it's one of the initial skirmishes in the war in this country that is coming about whether or not we should adopt Christian Sharia, if you will. I don't mean to offend Muslims, but they have their own craziness with Sharia. And the United States, we have our craziness with these Christian psychopaths. She was released by order of U.S. Federal Judge David Bunning, the one who put her ass in jail to begin with. And she was released on the condition that she doesn't interfere with efforts by her deputies to issue marriage licenses. Now, see, she could have done this from the very beginning, but she got tired of being paid. What does she make? $60,000 a year or something. She got tired of being a nobody. And she decided, well, I've got to do something to get some notoriety. Kaboom, kabang. The notoriety she sought is now hers. She is the latest incarnation of Andy Warhol's famous dictum that in the future, everybody would have 15 minutes of fame. I wonder if she's ever heard of Andy Warhol. What I like about her release were the freaks who showed up. There was old Huckle Nuts, the former Baptist preacher and former governor and perennial jerkwad. Boy, that guy irritates me. He just irritates the hell out of me. But the rally today had been scheduled before it was known whether this freakish woman would be released. And in anticipation of all the slopped-over publicity and all the cameras and a chance to blow his own horn, if you want to draw a visual image of that, go ahead. Senator Rafael Cruz of Texas showed up. But Huckle Nuts, the former Baptist pastor, was the one who grabbed the political spotlight. He didn't waste any time, did he? You see old Huckle Nuts walk in there? Yeah, walked into the detention center, walked out, just like Kim Davis's shadow. Ain't nobody going to get any daylight between him and Kim. Anyway, when Rafael Cruz left the jail, a bunch of journalists motioned for him to come over to their microphones, which was the whole reason for Rafael to be there. But guess what? According to the New York Times, an aide to Mr. Huckabee blocked the path of Rafael, and Rafael appeared incredulous. Well, you're not going to share? You're not going to share, Huckle Nuts? Come on, you realize we're a couple of vultures eating on the carrion of this sorry Kentucky obscure little county clerk who, after this dies down, will go back to her life of total anonymity and nobody cares whether she lives, dies, or does both, except maybe her 4 or 5, 6 husbands. An aide to Huckle Nuts blocked the path of Rafael Cruz. Can you imagine that? You're not going over there, boy. And why not? Because this is Huckle Nuts' show, not yours. Go find another clerk. Oh, my God. Huckle Nuts then went on to say to the crowd, if you have to put someone in jail, let me go. Good idea, Huckle Nuts. Yeah. Excellent idea. Volunteer. She tried to cast her fight as a choice of tyranny or religious freedom. Jesus Christ Almighty. She's and her ilk are the ones that are engaging in tyranny. But you can't explain that to a believer. somebody who believes all this superstitious, mythological people thundering across the sky nonsense. You cannot convince her that she is the one. Nobody denied her anything. She is the one who denied other people a legal right to get married. But this is what these Christian fundamentalists do. Now, I have no respect for religious fundamentalists of any stripe. But I swear, I have never seen such a gaggle of morons and halfwits and thumbsuckers as these Christian fundamentalists. It's just astonishing to me. They're babyfied. They're like spoiled little children who are desperately trying to please Daddy up in heaven. What was that song Betty Davis sang in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? I'm saving my kisses for Daddy. His address is heaven above. You remember that? I'm saving my kisses or something for Daddy. Don't you remember that? You remember the movie, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
A little before my time.
Well, it's before your time, but I'm surely you've seen it on Turner Classic Movies. Victor Buono had a part in it, and Betty Davis, and Joan Crawford, and a dead rat. I'm saving my kisses for Daddy. Oh, gee. But that is how I envision all Christian fundamentalists. They're weak until they become murderous. They want to impose their belief system, not just their belief, but their entire system on everybody else. And if you don't go along, they throw a tantrum. And the nerve of these sons of bitches to say this is the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. Do they not understand their Bible, their own collection of garbagey crap stories? That the reason Sodom was destroyed was because God got pissed off that the people were so unfriendly and so cold and so nasty to people who showed up looking for what? A marriage license, maybe? Swine. So, Rafael Cruz wasn't able to get in front of a camera. Poor Rafael. And he was absolutely incredulous. Oh, and by the way, they were selling parking spaces to people who showed up for this because it was such a big crowd. There's only 4,000 people live in that town. They were selling parking. The Christians were selling parking spaces for $20 each. They would be the ones who would show up at the foot of the cross and gamble for Jesus' robe, right? We'll be right back.
Just like a ghost, you've been haunting my dreams. Now I'll propose on high.